everyone, this is Erum Tasneem for Altenew. Welcome to Creative Coloring with Erum. Today I will be using the Build a Flower Primrose Stamp Set, and I'll be doing very easy watercoloring using the artist's watercolors. Okay, so I am going to stamp a few images from the Build a Flower Primrose Stamp Set in Obsidian Pigment Ink and use clear embossing powder to emboss it. I'm using the 9x12 watercolor cardstock, and because the Obsidian ink is a pigment ink, it stays wet a bit longer. So we can use it to heat emboss on it without using any embossing ink. This is going to be super fast and fun watercoloring, guys. I am starting by adding summer afternoon pigment, and hopefully I will show you the entire footage, so you will be able to see how fast and easy this whole process is. Okay, so I am adding the summer afternoon pigment, and I am not going to be overthinking while coloring. I'm just adding color to the images and going to keep the center darker. That is the main point of coloring today. Just add color and keep the center darker. I don't know why I even heat emboss these in the first place. I think I mixed two separate ideas, but anyway, don't worry if the color goes out. This is fun watercoloring, and you won't even notice if the after die cutting if the color does go out of the lines. Go back in and drop in concentrated pigment in the center, and that's it. You want to make it darker. If you want to make the center darker than it already is, darker than mine, then go ahead and add concentrated pigment. The orangey pigments that I'm using for the center are Fiery Sunset and Warm and Cozy. You will see that this will diffuse a bit on its own. I'm not drying between layers, but you can do that. What it will do is, if you dry it between layers, it creates more texture, and you will be able to, if you are adding stippling, what it will do is you will be that stippling will become more prominent and obvious instead of being absorbed into the wet layer. Moving on to the leaves, I'll start by adding Tropical Forest, and also going to add more concentrated pigment of it as stippling in the middle along the midrib. And like I said, if you want your stippling to be obvious or prominent, you need to dry the layer. I'm adding different greens to the leaves. This is completely up to you. You want to stick to one green, fine, that is also okay. But because the greens are right in front of me, so I'm just adding whatever I feel like adding right now. These are fun looking flowers, so don't be very particular about it. Have fun. For the background, I'll add seashore pigment and keep it a bit centralized. I love this watercolor paper. I love both the watercolor papers, both the 9x12 and the A2 size loose sheets. This one is from the A2 loose sheet, which I have cut into 4x5.5. I will just add color to the center, the middle of in a circular shape, and add a few splatters of the same, and then let it dry. Once dry, I will now add splatters of clear water. I let it sit for a few seconds and sop them up with tissue paper. I'll arrange my florals now. And it's now I realize I need to doodle some flower centers, which I will do with a permanent black pen. Next I'll add black paint splatters and then gold splatters, because there's not a lot going on my card and I need to keep adding to it. This is not my day. I don't know what I'm thinking. I think I'm thinking about two different cards and I'm mixing them up. Okay, so another error. I don't know where my mind was when I was making this. I remember I wanted to just add a strip of sentiment over my bouquet of flowers, and then I completely did a 180 and stamped one instead. I don't even like it there, and now I just have to make up and balance the bouquet. So what I'm going to do now is, I noticed these smaller flowers, actually the flower centers, and I will stamp those in coral berry dye ink onto watercolor paper and then go over them with a water brush. I'll fussy cut this and use them as fillers in my bouquet. Also, because I wanted the smaller ones to match the bigger ones, the bigger flowers that is, I'll take a permanent pen and doodle outlines on these. This was supposed to be an easy, fun card. Had I not messed that sentiment up, had I been concentrating on what I was doing. Anyway, plan your cards before you start filming or making them. Don't be like me, but at least those little tiny flowers are looking cute. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.
Hello there, did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.